Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, my brother. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Everything all right?
Everything is great. Everything is great. You still in Pennsylvania?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So
very
I'll be
good.
here for another week or two,
Okay,
and then down down to DC between
okay.
there.
Well, very good. So they're taking good care of you in Pennsylvania, huh?
We're doing a lot, doing some carpentry work here,
Okay, all
and
right.
get ready to do some stuff when I go down to my daughter's place. So, so I'll try to be there for a couple of weeks, and then I'll probably try to get stay out, hang out until homecoming out of Howard.
Okay.
hmm And then inshallah to head on down to Jacksonville and get a ride from Jacksonville to Tallahassee. And one of my former people, the people that work for me,
Mm-hmm.
they said they would pick me up when I got the when I get started.
Okay.
So that'll because I've got to go to Tallahassee to get my storage, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then get that packed up and drive it on up to South Carolina. So that's take take all of my stuff. Well, I had some of it sold, being taken care of now. So
So South
but,
Carolina is going to be it's going to be permanent U.S. home.
yeah, exactly. Mhm.
Okay.
'Cause I'm planning to add two bathrooms to the house and um, a office for myself.
Okay.
Convert the carport into an office.
Okay.
Mhm. So, and
So
then,
it's a two-car carport or one car carport?
well, I think you could put two, but one is comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big carport. It's not bad.
So basically, it's the size of a small or regular size master bedroom.
Yeah, but I'm going to extend it out all the way out to the make it line
Prop
up with the
Property line.
no, the property line. Look, there's so much
Oh, you
acreage.
got you got acreage. Okay, I
Yeah.
got you. Okay.
So
All right.
yeah, so I'll probably have to. So I want to relocate the steps to the screened-in porch, and then there's an area, the planting area. I'm going to enclose that and extend it out so I can have you know, uh, it'll be almost, I would say, 16, 17 by 21, you know.
Hmm.
So,
Okay. That's pretty decent size.
yeah, so I'll put glass on a couple of sides so I can get that natural light coming through there,
Mm-hmm.
and redo the concrete floor and I'll build a trellis for the trellis cover for the car. Keep all those pine needles and other leaves falling from getting on the car, sap and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's I got reinvigorated when I started working up here. I said now I could put in before it gets too cold, set the foundations, you know. I got to go get up underneath that house and insulate the floor with some insulation, bad insulation in there. So I got to try. I can get my Mexican guys to get up under there and do that, man. I've been under there too much. So, oh my goodness, putting pipe in, I, I, but my mother helped me too, putting in some water pipe.
Okay.
But she was just pulling. I told her to pull the pipe, when I open it up and put that hole in there and put that pipe through, and she was on the other end and she pulled it till I told her to keep going, keep going, keep going. And so we got that. We got the hose bit connected to it. You know, we got we got two hose bibs, one in the front, one in the carport. So changed the valve there. So, oh man, I saw a snake crawl through there, and when I was out, I was in up top. I said, "Oh man, I gotta deal with that."
Was it a good snake or a bad snake?
It was a pretty good snake. It was
Okay.
a black snake. They call them coach whips.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but I said, as long as he don't bother me, I don't bother him. Just
I'm
go
trying to
about
remember.
school.
If I remember from my childhood, Coach Whips were not poisonous.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
So we
No,
we always wanted to have Coach Whips around, and we wanted to have bull snakes around
okay. Yeah. Hmm.
because bull snakes take care of rattlesnakes.
Yeah. I know, man. Yeah, that's what you need, man. Of course, we had. You can forget the cats. The cats like to play with the snakes, so that ain't no problem.
Right. Right.
They ain't worth the time, man. Uh, but
Yeah.
the hawk, we don't have eagles here. You might get one or two eagles, but the hawks, you get hawks here in
Hmm.
that area. Yeah, and of course fox. I saw
Right.
I saw a bird fox. Now and then he peek his head through the woods and he look at me, stop and look at me, and when I move, he move.
Right.
And then what was that? And all the deer you can. Oh man, deer's be coming everywhere, man. And then we had to send your armadillo back to you, man. 'Cause
What's
yeah,
an armadillo doing that far north, brother?
I know that's what I'm saying. That's why I asked. I said, "What you doing here, man? Going back
Yeah.
to Texas?"
He got on the wrong Greyhound.
Oh my goodness, he just lost his way, man. But no, we didn't kill him. But he just, in fact, he moved on. You know, he moved on. He stopped tearing up the backyard, man.
Mm.
But yeah, and then of course you got the the fire ants, but they don't come in the house. They don't go near. They're just out in the field.
Hmm. Man, you know what? It's really funny because I guess because I've spent so much time in the city,
Hmm.
I really haven't seen a real a lot of fire ants over the last decade. Even
Wow.
when I go to East Texas to the country,
Uh-huh.
I still don't see a lot of fire ants.
Well, I'll send
I don't know
some
if
to
that's
you.
good or bad. No, don't
I'll
send none
send
my way. Don't send any my way.
some.
You can hey
I'll-
look,
and-
you can keep
but
fire
the thing
ants,
about
you
it
can
is,
keep hornets.
mhm. Well, see, I had we have wasp, the wasp nest. But
Mm-hmm.
I talked to them. I said, look, don't sting stone, because I would go in there where they are, and because I don't kill them, they must know that I have a free pass.
They know to
But
leave well enough
but
alone, brother.
my aunt, she got stung, man. Her face swelled up from the
Yeah.
bottom to the top. And
Mm-hmm.
then my sister got stung, and they were like, so they conspired. So I didn't know this until they would had to get some tools out of the shed, and so my sister said, "Yeah, I need a such and such. I need I think it was a rake or something that she wanted." I said, "Well, the tool shed is open, so you can go and." Said, "No, no, I'm not going. Just go ahead and get it for me." Okay, so I go down, and then I see the wasp nest. So I said, "Oh, I see. You all want me to run the gauntlet and then bring back the goods, and then and see if I got stung." And I told you they like me. I'm telling you, speak to them, talk to them. They ain't gonna bother you. I walked right through the nest, man. I didn't get stung. I said these are my boys. And I went in there and got that tool.
Say, hey, y'all know Rabbani's full of it, right? Y'all,
Yes. So, yeah, so
he's made friends.
don't mess with
He's made
me.
friends with the
Now
wasp.
don't make me an enemy. Don't make me an enemy now.
You're a good man. You're a
That's
good
why
man.
that's good. I don't, like I said, anything comes up there, man, I don't bother them.
Right.
Let them go. Because there's so much land around there. I mean, it don't make sense trying to kill these because they were there before I came, so
Mm-hmm.
they have
All right.
priority.
Assalamu alaikum, Imam Talib. Assalamu alaikum, Imam Bia.
Oh,
Sir, Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah.
man, back around.
Sir, I'm glad to be here nearly on time this time.
Oh, you're doing good. You're
Yes,
doing. Is this supposed to be the first day of fall? Or was that supposed to be yesterday? Does anybody know? I mean, according
No.
to the good people that
Oh,
set these things up.
oh, I don't know.
well, I look at the leaves and they tell me. I see this time of the year up in New England, man. It's really beautiful, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I that used to be the signs, and in Pennsylvania, the tree, the leaves falling, so it ushered in a whole nother season.
Mm.
So, but it's nice.
Yeah, it's still very much summer in Texas.
Uh-huh.
It
Yeah.
was not. I think it was 94 yesterday.
Okay.
Mm,
I tell you one thing. I know who was hot yesterday, the day before yesterday. Oh,
Just one person?
Jasmine Crockett, boy.
Well, she's hot
She
three
told
day
me,
3 days out of every week.
I know, man. She is something, boy.
Yeah, she's a firecracker.
I
That is for sure.
I, I was telling my sister. I said there was the Caucasian lady. I don't know whether she's a congresswoman, but I don't know where she was from. But she was cross-examining uh, Cash Patel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, man, and Cash Patel. Oh, he couldn't answer those questions, and he was hemming and hawing. And I said to myself, I told my sister, I said, that sounded like me when my mama was cross-examining me. I couldn't get the thing straight, and she had that cat and nine tails waiting for me. Oh man, I said, boy, if that don't sound like my, he couldn't get it straight, man. I didn't ask you that. Why you
mm.
tell me something like that? You know, wham, wham, wham.
she was giving him a whooping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an arrogant Southeast Asian.
Well,
It's an
Cash,
arrogant. Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Cash,
Assalamu
walaikum assalam.
How you doing? Yeah,
I don't know if Cash understands that he has been put in a position to be a martyr.
that's right. Negro.
Yeah.
I call him Trump's Negro.
Well, he is
alaikum.
to a
Exactly.
certain extent. Yeah. He and Christy Nome too. I mean, she's a housemaid Negro.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They're there to be slaughtered. When it all goes bad,
Oh,
they're going to
then,
be slaughtered.
then
Yeah.
you got Pam Blondie.
Oh yeah. She gonna
Yeah.
get it
Well,
too.
That lady's got. She believes the hype.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's gonna believe you're gonna bleed it too.
yeah, it's not going to be pretty when it does turn. When that
Oh, yeah.
happens, it's going to be very ugly.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, we had a mayoral candidate forum. We got 10 people running for mayor
10.
because the current mayor was slow to say he was running for re-election. Everybody assumed he wasn't going to run, and the last day he decided to run. They were hot. But they got this one guy, Freddie De La Cruz, Hispanic. I don't know what, Puerto Rican or whatever. Freddie's a MAGA Republican.
Mm,
And he's
Still.
gonna bring MAGA values to Cumberland County.
Oh wow.
I saw Freddie. I said, Freddie, you do realize that Trump lost Cumberland County, right? He's talking about bringing corporal punishment back to the classroom.
Oh
So
wow.
another MAGA
Hey,
nut. That's all we
he, be-
need.
he better have his AR-15. I'll tell you that. and
Right.
and bulletproof vest.
Thank you.
Because you them kids nowadays, you hit them, boy, they might go home and get their stuff, boy. I tell you.
Most of them, at least in some of the high schools here, they bring their stuff. They don't have to go home.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See what I mean?
Well, how did they get into school? They don't have metal detectors or anything?
Come on, man. There's always somebody at the alternate door. Hey, calling each
Oh,
other on the
okay.
phone, man. Let me in.
Oh, okay.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. You got one security guard for a high school with 2,600 students.
And they ain't paying him enough to put his life on the line.
No, brother. No. And not to run up and down 3 stories, all those stairs all day long.
Oh, okay.
No, they don't. It's so funny. They have fights in the school. They got security cameras everywhere. And the fight is a movable feast. It goes from one floor to another floor, to down the hall, to down the stairs, and then across, and then they end up in the gym. And it's the same group, and they'd be like adding like 2 or 3 people every time they move, moving with the fight.
All right.
And it's so funny, man. It's hilarious. You can see it on the news. There's cameras everywhere.
Okay.
And the security is trying to figure out where they went now, because they get different reports. It starts out like they fighting. Okay, where are they fighting? They're on the 2nd floor by Miss So and So's room. And by the time they get there, they're gone, and it's a circus, and it's all planned by the students. They know who's going to be the bull in the ring that day.
Playing fight. Boy, let me get on this computer here.
All right. Anyway, so we're officially late. So I'm going to ask Imam Talib to open us up this morning.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
آمين.
Ameen. All right, welcome everybody to this morning. Just a couple of housekeeping things before we get immersed. I've got a family event tomorrow late afternoon, so no collective conversations tomorrow evening. I'm sure you all are now breathing a sigh of relief, but we will reconvene either the last day of this month, but we might want to have a conversation because Adam, if I'm not mistaken, 150 meets twice a month on Mondays. Is that correct?
Yeah, the first and third Monday.
First and third Monday. So my thought is to ease the burden on all of us is maybe move collective conversation to the second and fourth Mondays only of every month. That might encourage more participation. And also, I mean, Adam has it cut out typically at least on those 2 Mondays. So let's give some thought to that of maybe only doing collective conversations a couple of times a month. Second thing, this may spur conversation, maybe it won't, but I did get the information that was requested by CU Collaborate. Did get that information to them. I want to say I probably used all available time, and I think I sent that to them on Friday. Could have been Thursday night, one of the two. And I also gave them. Well, basically, all I did was share the our website page that has all of our pictures on it, and most of us have some type of LinkedIn bio associated with the picture so that they can start, well, in Ben's case, he can start to get a feel for who we are individually as a group. That was something that he mentioned. So that is done. If he needs any additional information, he knows to reach out to us and we can help him with that. So the one thing that I want to talk about this morning that he reiterated in the email that he sent me is that he is really high on the possibility of us working with the other group to manage that credit union that is already in existence.
Alhamdulillah.
Which spurred me to thinking about not only that credit union, but us doing individual or group investigations of other credit union situations where there might be one in distress. And we know of some, at least they were. 2 of them were in North Carolina. I think one in Raleigh, I think one in Charlotte. That we might look at those situations as well. But, if we want to keep a tight focus and we look at the one in Mississippi that they already have control of the board of directors, I just wanted to get feedback. I know everybody wasn't on the call on Wednesday, but I just wanted to get feedback on what you guys think about really pushing the Mississippi situation and also keeping our minds open toward potentially moving on any other credit union if the Mississippi situation doesn't come to fruition.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I sound like, let me, I want to apologize for my lack of attention to the meeting with CU collaborative, because here of late, my head has been in another space. I was there for the meeting for roughly 30 minutes. And I believe in those who were there, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Ben may have offered some insights, like questions we could ask this group in Mississippi, and I would imagine others, to get some sense of what it is we're getting into. I seem to recall him making the suggestion, or maybe we made the suggestion, of wanting to take a look at the current financials, as well as understanding their ability to be able, I was going to say to be able to take this over, but they've already taken it over. Is that right? The credit union.
My understanding is, and of course, there's no way for us to have 100% clarified this, but my understanding is they have control of the board.
They control the board. Okay.
Right.
Right. So my presumption is the process would be for this new entity to be sanctioned by NCUA, or can they continue with the same name, just a different board?
They can continue doing business as they are. I mean, board of directors change.
Okay.
Right. Typically, if you set it up correctly, you have staggered board of directors. People's, their directorship ends. You have a vote to replace them. Usually, it takes time to get control of a board. In this case, they walked in and took control of the board.
Right.
So business as usual on Monday. Same people in place, doing the same things, at least probably the Monday after they took over. They didn't, from our conversation, it didn't seem like they had made any big changes, like, fire the branch manager and put somebody else in.
Right.
Any of that kind of stuff. So right now, I would say it's probably business as usual. Okay. Ben mentioned things like marketing. Okay. Obviously, what is their service area? Who are they serving? How would that mesh with what we're trying to do? Would there need to be a change? So, if you change your designation, you have to typically go through an approval process with NCUA to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're looking to be single common bond. There's something else. How do you make that switch? Probably easy, but you still got to go through the process. What are their assets? The one that we looked at, if you remember, the credit union we looked at, we think is probably the one they took over, had nothing but automobile loans. No real estate, no home improvement. It was all automobile loans. So, I mean, there's different things to look at, viability, which we don't care about necessarily at this moment. If they're healthy enough that they're not going to be shut down, what to do. But future business plan, marketing plan, how do you promote growth? How do you open it up so that whatever we think we need? And that was the other thing he mentioned. And it's the second time he said it to me. Or, well, he said it to me once. He said it to us as a group on Wednesday. Was that whole 3,000 number, if you guys remember?
Membership.
That NCUA threw at us. And he was saying to get that number or a greater number, he knows the dark arts, tricks of the trade of how to make some of that stuff work. So, we'll see. But that's down the road conversation at this point.
Right. Okay. But some of those things that you just mentioned, those are some of the things that we can formulate into questions for this group or any other group.
Correct.
Okay. 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 Well, that puts me back on point, because I've been inundated on this end with some business and community issues that have distracted me. So I'm just trying to catch up and get back on point. And I don't know whether it's come up for any kind of vote yet or not, or even looking for a consensus. But I would like to see us move more towards getting a credit union, through a process of joining the board and moving them towards the Graceline model. So the alternative, of course, being to start from scratch.
Right. So let me throw this into the mix, and maybe this moves some people who are kind of in the middle of the road on the yellow stripe. Ben was talking about the number of credit unions that are approved on an annual basis. And I think, Imam Talib, I think you were in the conversation at the time that he brought this up.
Yep.
And he was throwing out numbers like 2 or 3.
Right.
I almost gasped.
That's
When
right.
he said 2 or 3. I was going to swallow. I was going to swallow my tongue. 2 or 3.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
In America.
In America.
I heard that also.
So,
Yeah.
And,
And look, and I
Excuse me,
think that,
Assalamu alaikum. Was
Go
that
ahead.
three?
Salam.
You said 3. Can you repeat that?
yeah, we exactly. Sister Kalita, my reaction exactly. It's that moment when you want to pretend that you are in the know, but you really just got knocked out of your chair. Right? You know nothing. You know nothing. So he said in a year that the NCUA is approving 2 to 3 credit unions a year. And then he went on to say there's a recent credit union that he worked on the project in Minneapolis, St. Paul to get that credit union open. And did he not say, you guys help me out here? Did he not say about 4 years?
I believe so. It was close.
Something 3 to 4 years working on that one.
Yeah, there was a time frame that he mentioned that also that kind of seemed to actually it seemed to be in line, because it's certainly where we are.
Right, exactly.
But except for the fact he has, at least from my opinion, he has more knowledge than all of us put together. And
Exactly.
it took him 4 years.
Exactly.
The one question that I didn't get a chance to ask is whether or not that 2 to 3 credit unions a year has anything to do with this administration. You know,
I'm gonna say at this point, just based on the fact that once I picked myself up, dusted myself off, and then went and started looking at just data that NCUA has, you got to search a little bit because their website is huge and confusing.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, no, this is not a one-off, and it has nothing to do with the last 7-8 months of the Trump administration, because the period he was talking about would have carried through the Biden administration, when three of the people on the board of, I think, 5 people were Democratic appointees or Democratic leaning people at NCUA, right? Whatever commissioners, whatever they call them,
Right.
they were Democratic leaning. I think the president or the head of the NCUA for the last 2.5 years is an African American man. So, no, this is like the norm. And, the only thing that came to my mind after the fact was that the regular commercial banking industry is against credit unions, which means there's a lot of pressure not to put more credit unions online.
Right.
Right? Because they outcompete. Properly run credit unions outcompete commercial banks. They take money away from them.
Right.
So that may play a part in it too. But whatever the mix is, there aren't a whole lot of credit unions get chartered on a year-to-year basis.
Now the one that Ben said opened in Minneapolis, St. Paul, was that did he say that was a black credit union?
Correct. And he sent us a list. Remember, we asked for references. He sent 3 that he had worked on personally. Okay. That was one of the 3 that I think that he sent us in that email that he sent answering that question. Okay. And he did say there was a 4th one that they're waiting on final approval on, that they keep pushing the final approval for another credit union that he is working on that I also think might be a minority credit union. And I think the first meeting I had with Ben and the young lady, most of you guys were not in that meeting, but Ben has a strong relationship with the African American Credit Union Association. He works hand in hand with them to charter black-owned credit unions, or black, whatever you want to call it, black-owned, black-started credit unions. So, and he offered to introduce us to that group as well as his group, because they work in collaboration quite a bit. So anyway, that was that. He was saying that this next credit union, they told him by the end of September, but he thinks it's going to be by the end of October, maybe even November, before they get the final approval. But they've done everything. So there you go.
Would you recommend that we have conversations with the African American Credit Union Association and express to them our interest in taking over a failing credit union? Or I don't want to say
no. I mean, there's not, they're consultants just like CU Collaborate.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're interested in taking over a current credit union, number one is that you need to talk to the people at that credit union. Okay. Number 2 is that once you reach any level of agreement with those folks, then jointly or severally, you're gonna have to walk that through NCUA. And you may have to work with a consultant like the African American Credit Union Association or CU Collaborate to make sure that that's done properly, so you don't bounce your head against too many walls in that process and make it a smooth transition. But that would be the sequence of events in my judgment. Little bit that I know, that would be, I think, the sequence of events.
Okay. But it's not going to hurt us in any way for either one of them to know, and that is CU Collaborative or the African American Credit Union Association. It's not going to hurt them to know that we do have this interest.
Exactly. It would probably help. It would probably help us.
Because if they are advising credit unions and they happen to run across one that may be a fit for us, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to step back into this mix now, because all this other stuff is becoming a distraction. But yeah, that's I kind of feel caught up now. At least I'm, I feel like I'm up to speed. So I guess the next question is where do we go from here? I mean, Mississippi is on the table. Where did we leave that?
Well, so that the next move with that group is totally up to us if we want to have additional conversations with them, and I think we're probably open to that. One thing I did not do that I just thought about is I did not send that information on that credit union, even the name of the credit union, which we don't know is the one, to Ben. I'll do that. I'll do that as soon as this meeting is over, because I want him to vet for us whether or not that, as close as he can get, that's the credit union in question, and give him a chance to throw back to us whatever he thinks his analysis of that situation is, if that is the one. And that would also help us in the future conversation. And then it's up to Rabbani, who has a relationship with Dr. Ali, to re-engage that and see if we can set up a meeting with him and whoever else from that group might be interested in talking with us.
Where was that credit? Was that credit union in Biloxi?
No, it was in northern Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah.
You remember what county or what?
Hold on one second. I'll pull it up.
Oh,
I've still got the information. I just need to, like I said, I need to send it to Ben. Issaquena County Federal Credit Union, which is in Mayersville, Mississippi. Mayersville, Mississippi. I'm pretty sure that's northern Mississippi, if I remember correctly.
Issaquena, okay.
Yeah. $1.28 million in total assets.
And you had said most of it was auto loans.
Well, yeah, that's what their own paperwork says.
Right. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah, I'd like to see something here. Yeah.
So Adam, I know you're probably at the office busy, but what say ye? How are your feelings on this?
Yeah, I was en route when I first called. I'm settled in now. But you know what
in order for us to, I'm just trying to look at what would working with the current credit union look like. Clearly, if it's going to be ongoing existing, we would have to have a board presence, right? When you think?
Well, my thoughts on it are, no matter which credit union, if we were to go into an existing credit union,
Mm-hmm.
I actually want to have numbers on the board that put votes in our favor. At the least, we would be equal number of seats on the board.
Right.
Then potentially with an outside director, somebody who's not in either camp, as a swing vote, is that odd number, because all the boards are going to have an odd number of board members. It's 5, 7, 9, 11, or 13, I think, is the way NCUA has it set up. So you're always going to have an odd number so that you can have a decisive vote on things. So, I mean, if it's one of those friction things, or we don't want you dominating us, you don't want us dominating you, then you bring in an outside director to be that odd number. And for me, that would be the least of the situation. I would rather have dominance, but if I don't, I'll accept an outside director.
All right. So the next part is, what would cause them to want to have that happen that way?
Two things. Number one would be any type of professional business banking expertise that you're adding to the board. That would be one thing. And the other thing would be any other strong knowledge base that would allow the credit union to expand, become more profitable, more beneficial to an entire community. So we'd have to do more investigation to determine where they are in their thinking about how do you grow a credit union? How do you make it more impactful to the community that you want to serve? And for example, I'll just give you a small example. There's an Islamic credit union in Houston, Texas, that I want to say they were chartered 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, because I think they got their charter actually approved in the early stages of COVID. So it may be 4 years now, it may be 2021 when they actually got their charter. And they were small in 2021. They're still small. In fact, it is very possible that they have fewer assets now than they had then. And the reason is they only do Islamic banking. They are 100% hamstrung because they are 100% tied to Islamic banking only. Even in our application to NCUA, we propose a dual banking system because we're smart enough to know that you have to be able to offer both. And even a group like ourselves, which is smart enough to know that you have to be able to offer both in the United States. How do you do it? Do you know platforms, banking platforms that you need to be working with to be able to effectively do that, so that you can offer all these products and services to disparate groups probably 2 different groups, stay in compliance, and be profitable and growing. And I'm going to sit here and tell you that there probably are less than 3% of any groups in the United States of America that are thinking about opening a credit union who thought any of that through. So we bring that to the table. And you don't have to tell everybody all that up front, but we have ideas. We can give a general, and if you want to dance with us, we'll dance, and we'll do this thing together and grow it. And if you don't, I understand. Thank you. Best of luck to you. Because trust me, we know that if you guys haven't kept up, because we've had the discussions with people and the information's been shared, there is a methodology to having the dual banking system. It's being done, and there are banking platforms that are out there that one of them, 2 of them actually have huge systems in place, and the others are moving to it. But if you don't know that, and you're not reading the information that comes out, then you're going to miss it. You got to be kind of wired in too. And one of those groups sends me emails every week. You know, and they talk about the language is composable banking. In other words, you write your own script. They have all the compliance tools to make sure that whatever it is that you want to do, that it remains compliant within the banking industry, both national and international. So these are just things that we add to the equation if we're going to partner with somebody. Now, if they already know all this stuff, they can tell us, oh, we know all that. You know, we don't need you. That's great. I'm 97% sure they don't have all this information. You got to go down the rabbit hole to find it. And there's 1,000 different little rabbit holes when you get down that rabbit hole, so you to find the one.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So I haven't done a deep dive into this, but I do see where that credit union in Issaquah County, the Issaquah County Federal Credit Union received an order of assessment of a civil money penalty in the amount of $313 back in April. I think the order was issued April of this year. No, I'm sorry. It's actually dated November 12th, 2024, but it was reported in April, but I'd have to do a deep dive to see what it was for. But it might have been something as simple as a reporting error,
probably,
that could have occurred. It doesn't appear to be a really big deal compared to the civil penalties that were noted that can range from $150 to like $700 for what I'm just going to call minor infractions. But just in a quick review, there have been penalties that go into the thousands for various violations. So, but it doesn't seem that this particular credit union, got itself into trouble because of any serious violations of NCUA rules.
So the penalty was issued by NCUA?
Yes. Yeah.
And usually when you talk about penalty, it's a percentage of a certain amount.
Well, this is titled an administrative order.
No. But it's based on the amount of the error.
Right. They called it a civil money penalty, assessment of a civil money penalty. And they give the sections that they violated. And then they also offer the penalty amount. And it appears as though this was like they consented to this. In other words, they didn't try to fight it or anything. They just looks like they admitted to their wrongdoing or whatever they didn't do. Because the credit union executed a stipulation and consent to issuance of an order of assessment. So they just stipulated to whatever it was that NCUA said they violated, and the $313 was needed to be made payable to the Department of the Treasury.
Right. But I'm saying it might have been 313 because the amount of the error, maybe because they don't have big transactions. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
right. In other words, if the transaction was bigger, the penalty would have been more. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah,
all right.
yeah, right. Yeah, you just messed up a little bit. Okay. Well, no, I mean, I'm just, and I guess at some point, at some point in doing, our due diligence, I'd want to just kind of do a deeper dive into this and find out, whether or not these people that are now controlling the board, do they think that they can do this, without us? I mean, so
they obviously think they can do it without us because they're already doing it.
Right. Okay.
They're doing it without any knowledge of us.
Mm.
So when they walked into it day one, they figured they could handle it.
Okay.
At least to a certain extent. So, the fact that Brother Rabbani fortuitously had the conversation was great because that opened the door. Then that opened their knowledge base that we actually existed and we were trying to do something and all that. And thankful for that conversation and for the opportunity to have these conversations.
Right.
But they already thought, oh, this is an opportunity for us. Let's take a run at it.
Yeah, but I like what you just said. I mean, this becomes an experience for us. I mean, quite frankly, for the future. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the peanut gallery right now. I'm
right, if it's
watching,
not right,
potentially watching them and see
right,
all this
if
happening, right?
right, if it's not them, it could be somebody else
Right.
that they look at us as what they need. So
Exactly.
yeah, okay. I mean, I'm all for that. I mean, that's
Or we get a better picture of what we don't want,
yeah, that's true.
right? I mean, this is a 1.2 million asset credit union. And if it's a headache dealing with something this small,
Hmm.
then maybe the next opportunity that comes up, I want them to be a little bit bigger. If I got to go through these headaches of getting, I'm fishing and I want to get the fish in the boat. If I got to go through headaches for a quarter pound crappie, I'd much rather be trying to pull a sturgeon into the boat so I can have some food for a while.
Hmm.
I don't want to go through the same strain for something that's one bite as opposed to something that's going to feed 500. And if we find that to be the case, you got to be able to get up from the table and walk away. So, I mean, we'll find that out if we get the opportunity to talk to them again.
All right. So listen, wait a minute now. This is crazy. All right. So while you were talking, I was thinking in terms of, you had mentioned something earlier about, when we look at these other credit unions, some of the things we want to consider in terms of, a marketing plan, and who's being served. And I just, man, let me make sure I'm telling y'all right. How do you develop a marketing plan for Mayersville, Mississippi, that in 2024 had a population of 464 people?
Well, hopefully there's more. Hopefully there's more people than that in the county, in Issaquah County, right?
Okay.
Maybe they at least have 11,000 people in Issaquah County, maybe or
Okay.
something.
How do you spell that?
Wait a minute.
ISSAQUENA, I believe, unless there's two N's at the end of Issaquah.
All right.
Let's see. Population of that.
Yeah,
Well,
they
it just went up
in the
3
Delta.
times.
12,
Okay.
1,275 people.
1,295 people.
So
Yeah.
we have more members in Graceline than there are people in Issaquah County.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I think
So we could double.
we could easily double the serviceable number of people just by adding our membership.
So,
But the idea, obviously the idea has to be bigger, right? The idea has to be much bigger than that, because they were put in place to probably serve an area, Issaquah County in particular, maybe a couple of parts of surrounding counties, very
right.
rural, that didn't have banking in that area, or maybe had one other option or something, right? So we understand how they got their charter, because they're going to serve a truly underserved people in that county. So our thing is single common bond, which is our Islamic community primarily, and ancillary, to our Islamic community, people that are closely tied to us. We have a much bigger footprint, but our footprint is nationwide, which is why that particular federal credit union is advantageous to us, because we need a federal credit union charter. because our footprint is federal, as in all 50 states and territories.
Okay. So you're right. Because it appears as though Issaquena County is only served by two financial institutions. And
Okay.
one of them is the credit union.
Okay.
The other is the Bank of Anguilla, Anguilla.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah. So they had no other option. There was no credit union there.
right. Okay.
It was an easy to walk that across the line if they could,
No,
connect
but
the dots. Yeah.
what I'm appreciative of in this is the process that we're going to have to go through when we think we found the institution that we want to try to acquire. This type of statistical data is what is going to be a heavy part of the business plan. The
Correct.
population, the growth,
Right.
how we plan to achieve that. I think
Yep.
even in, I didn't look, but I think at one time, wasn't NCUA putting us under some guideline that we could look at a 35-mile radius, or did that change? Remember, we were trying to put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was 30 instead of 35.
Okay.
But again, what I'm learning, if it's true, is that there's greater flexibility than what the paperwork says.
That I think Susan told us that.
Right.
Yeah, because this
Yeah.
was the first time I've right. Okay. All right.
And one of the other things that Ben said in the meeting was I guess right now, and again, all of those of you that were on the call pretty much to the end, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is there's one commissioner of NCUA who is active right now. Everybody else is waiting to go through their whatever appointment process and get added. And this particular person is very aggressive. If you have your ducks in a row, he wants to charter credit, which probably means that he wants to keep the current credit unions as healthy as possible also.
Mhm.
So it's an advantageous time probably be looking at these situations. And, for our sake, I'll say this, and please nobody repeat this beyond this meeting. The Mississippi situation is not an ideal situation for us
Mhm.
because of where it is and the fact that you are going to have problems if you're thinking about uprooting them. So you have to think about adding branches, expanding them. Number one, you got to get your designation changed to single common bond, or maybe in this case, multiple common bond, adding our single common bond to whatever their situation is, right? So you're going to have to change to a multiple common bond, probably. That's what I've seen happen more often in the literature and stuff from NCUA that I've read.
Mhm.
Whatever their situation is, we add our single common bond, which is our Islamic community, to their situation. So now we have a reason, say, to open a branch in Charlotte, open a branch in St. Petersburg, open a branch in Philadelphia, so on and so forth, that more adequately reaches the other part of that multiple common bond. Now, I know that's putting the cart way in front of the horse at this point in time, but you have to think about that if you're thinking about really and truly serving our community ultimately. Because we're not in Issaquena. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the closest masjid to Issaquah is in Jackson.
Okay.
So, you know, you got to think about that. How do we adequately serve our community except for taking deposits?
Mhm. So it appears as though there are only 3. Is that right? Wait a minute. Yeah, it appears as though there's only 3 NCUA board members right now.
Okay, that's more than I thought there were, but anyway, so we
Uh,
got 3.
Uh, let's see, the NCUA board has 3 members, including a chair, vice chair, and a member who oversees the National Credit Union Administration.
Okay, so
As
that's
of
the one. That's the
September,
one guy.
as of September 2025, the board members are Kyle Hauptman, Hauptman, Rodney E. Hood,
That's a brother. That's a brother, I think.
and Todd M. Harper. Yeah, so
Okay.
Rodney Hood is the vice chair, Hauptman is the chair, and Todd Harper is a member.
Okay.
Trump appointed Hauptman in January of 2025.
Okay.
And Harper was confirmed for a full term in 2022. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they serve 6, I think they said 6-year staggered terms.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, serves the effect of the NCUA. Okay. So, I mean, that gives us some insight. And I'm going to check on, because NCUA is local to me, and I'm in agreement with you, Anthony. I mean, you, Edward, that that Rodney Hood is a brother. Yeah, I believe you're right about that. Yep. Acting comptroller, yeah. Pending board director. Yeah, he's a brother, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brother.
I'm gonna, and let me just see something.
And he's better hurry up before they come get him.
I know.
Mhm.
I know. We may be looking to hire
Yeah,
Rodney as our.
He's out of Charlotte, North Carolina,
Oh wow.
okay. And graduated from University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill.
Now, I hate to bust his bubbles, but guess who appointed him?
It was Trump.
Trump.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was Trump.
So okay. So we have to. I don't know. I'm gonna give Rodney a pass right now until I know more about it.
We can ask Dr. Ali those intriguing questions, which I'm sure he has. They have discussed that. We can get that information post haste. When we speak with him.
Yeah. And just to let you know now, He served as chairman of the board until January 20th, 2021, when President Biden appointed Todd Harper to the position.
Okay.
Right.
So Biden did not like Rodney because Rodney was an appointee of Trump.
Yeah, because he
Yep.
left. Matter of fact, it says he left the board in 2024. So he may not even be there anymore.
No.
He's vice chair, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
It says he assumed the office of acting chair, acting deputy, acting controller of the currency in February 10th, 2025. Again,
okay.
Yeah.
Trump doubled down,
He's a Trump guy.
and he is not going to go against Trump.
Yeah. So that being the case, we'll try to fly under the radar of Rodney.
Mm-hmm.
The less we have to deal with Rodney, the better.
Well, we hope he
Yeah, I think Dr. Ali knows how to navigate. We can get a lot from him in reference to what we are thinking about, any assumptions that we're thinking about. But we know it's going to be we'll find out through Dr. Ali what the degree of the struggle that might occur in trying to unite the two.
if it's in Charlotte, we can contact State Representative Nasif McGee.
Mm-hmm.
So he would know he would know about him.
Okay.
Yeah. So my worry, if I have any, my worry is really if we're going down the road of trying to merge our interest with somebody in an existing credit union. My worry is really and truly not the NCUA necessarily. If there's a struggling credit union and viable people want to come in and try to do something to help that particular credit union, becoming board members, updating a business plan, updating a marketing plan, so on and so forth, sweat equity, maybe even bringing some money to the table. So my worry is not NCUA. My worry is the right situation with the current board and management of that particular credit union.
Mm-hmm.
It's the melding of minds that you're struggling for a reason. We have some ideas that we think would help this credit union sustain itself, grow, serve a community that we're interested in serving. And if you're willing to open the door and allow us in on equal footing, we'll do the work that you're not doing and help you do the work that you're currently struggling with. And if people aren't open to that conversation and collaboration, I mean, you're not going to accomplish anything. Right.
You just
so
wasted time.
Yeah, everybody's wasting their time.
Right. Yeah.
Because there are even some other ideas that exist out there. When we start talking about capital, how do you bring capital into one of those particular situations? There's some other ideas out there that are approved about accessing capital to help those situations in a way that doesn't hamstring you. None of this is easy, but doable. And it would be a way to get our community to contribute where it would not be backbreaking on people to have a piece of the credit union, in addition to open a depository account. And also would give other people an opportunity to simply invest in something that's fairly safe and secure and whatever. You don't want to share every bit of that and how that works with everybody that you talk to, but that's something else that's in our back pocket that I've shared information with you. And I know when most people read that stuff, your eyes start revolving in your head because it's just a bunch of legalese, but it exists and it's approved already, methodologies for doing it. So again, there are things that we as a group can bring to the table to help struggling situations.
Mm. Yeah, so that's why it's important to then, once we get all of these items of concerns that we have, then we can have the meeting with Dr. Ali, and he can probably clarify a lot and give a certain strategy and how of his experience in getting that credit union, and what he foresees as being some problems, and in terms of Islamic banking uh, coexisting operation. So a lot of those things, I'm sure we can get the strategy and how he got it, and what is the temperature there in Mississippi,
Yeah,
So,
I would say they're from the size of that bank, and of course you'd have to go back and look at historicals. What have they done over the last 7, 8 years? Have they been pretty static? I can't imagine that there's been much change in like their capital situation, number of loans that they make. In a county that small, there's not going to be any great movement up or down, probably.
mhm,
So, and they're doing traditional banking. It's not an Islamic credit union. It's
right.
traditional banking. So
Mhm,
the deal would be how do you bring in Islamic banking, right?
exactly.
Um, when you have an existing situation with traditional Western banking already in place, of people that already have loans on books, and people who are probably in that county, which I will bet if you had to make people sign a piece of paper saying what faith tradition they follow, and 95% of them are going to say some form of, Christian or Protestant faith. You say Islamic banking to them, and you know they're going to stand there looking at you until you ask them, okay, yeah, we can do your auto loan just like we did the one before, and then they're happy again. Just these are just normal people, right?
Right.
Your average, normal, everyday American person. And I mean, they barely understand, like, the traditional banking. What's my interest rate? Okay, where do I sign? What's
Right.
my payment? Type of thing. So, yeah, I mean, you guys, I mean, you guys are all here. I mean, what do you think timeline wise? And includes you, Omar. You are such a patient man. You say nothing. You listen. You take everything in. It's wonderful. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Mhm.
So how fast do we want to move on this as far as setting up meetings with Dr. Ali? I know that Ben said by the end of the month, but probably it'd be more like the first week of October before we get any definitive information back from him, like on, his ability, or CU Collaborate's ability to work with us on this and what our investment in that would be. So what's the thinking as far as how quickly we want to set up another meeting with Dr. Ali?
Mm.
Because I'm thinking middle of October.
Mm.
That's a ways, huh?
No, that's less than a month.
Yeah, I know.
That's no time at all.
I know. Mhm.
Let me just ask this. I mean, just cumulatively, what, I mean, if I think back on the conversation we've been having for at least the last 30 to 40 minutes, what would we be meeting with Dr. Ali for?
Just to get some information. That's all.
Yeah, a lot of just a lot of clarification. Yeah, go ahead, buddy, because you're saying the same thing I was about to say.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
all these question marks of how to dovetail into our organization into theirs, and what are the things that we don't these questions and human movements and human thinking, and what is the temperature of that of the situation with him there, how give us some insight, and then we can formulate a strategy to approach it in such a way that we can achieve our goals and not do something that might upset the apple cart. That's basically what I was under the understanding, that we would we would make those concerns known to him, Imam Ali, because he already has laid the groundwork for a lot of things that he will know certain ways to walk through a minefield, so we can have those, the same questions we've been talking about today.
All right. Okay. No, I got it now. Okay.
If,
Yeah. And so, okay.
If I can, if you remember, Dr. Ali was very cautious about sharing certain information because he said on a couple of occasions he's not the one that has the expertise.
That's right. Right.
You said that, so that would give him a chance to go back to whoever he needs to go back to, and then invite them to a meeting and where they can discuss those areas where he might have had unreadiness to discuss. That's the way I see it.
Right. Right. And this would have been, and I don't have those notes in front of me, but this would have been the two people that I recall him mentioning. I think one of them might have been a real estate broker or something.
That's correct. That's one of them. You're correct about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'd have to go back and just kind of look at those notes to kind of refresh my memory. But that, at the end of the day, should this move any further beyond Dr. Ali, it would be those two people and perhaps the board member who was it two board members that moved in on them, or was it just one?
Yeah, that part I don't remember. I don't remember exactly how many people are on the board. My thought was that there were either 3 or 4 individuals who, including Dr. Ali, who are part of a group that now have the majority, which would mean that there's probably 7 board members.
Right.
But
regardless to how many it is, they have the majority. Okay.
They have majority. Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can see the benefit. I do see the benefit now in trying to meet once again with Dr. Ali. And okay. So I mean, yeah, I would tell you, let's see, mid-October. I mean, what you calling, let's see, what you're referring to as mid-October is going to be here somewhere, all right, 12th through the 18th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know what it means to any of us, but October the 13th is a holiday. That's on a Monday.
What holiday?
The former Columbus Day, now Indigenous People Day, is the holiday. So maybe
Might
that
be a
could be a
time.
good day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, it's mid-October,
Mm-hmm.
and if we request a meeting with him now, it's I mean, you know, I don't know how busy he is, but it's far enough in advance, and being a holiday,
Mm-hmm.
and not really known as one of them days that, you know, people go somewhere or have a barbecue or something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Why don't I call him and give him some alternative dates and the day that we want, that we would like to have, and then any alternative dates in that range, in that area, that week. Okay.
Okay.
So
I mean, does
we're
that
gonna,
work for everybody?
It's fine with me.
so October
So
13th.
Yeah, I mean, October 13th would be
And then
October
what?
13th would be
And
one
then
of the,
we'll make suggestions if that doesn't work for him. Um, we'll try to coordinate another date or dates
sometime that week.
that week. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, because that sometime that week still puts us in the mid-October range.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that works for me. Okay.
well, as long as we don't do it on the 14th, that's good.
Yeah, I know. You got that October 15th deadline coming up. I know.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, you're not talking about that? Something else going on?
No, October 14th is the National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk.
Oh.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh, let's then I
Absolutely.
think we should have it on the 14th, the meeting.
Oh Lord.
Now you're trying.
And I think we should take out a full page ad in all local newspapers so everybody knows that we're meeting on that particular day at exactly the time that commemoration starts.
Man, we want to get a lift off, bro. We don't want to get.
That's deep. A national day of remembrance for someone I never even heard of
Uh-huh. Now,
until they elevated him to sainthood. I mean, this is
Look,
look. What would the comedian say? I love America. Oh man.
oh my goodness.
so the 14th is the best day. The 13th is the second best day, and then after that, any other day that week is fine.
Man, oh man, oh man. Ain't that something? That is really something.
My goodness,
you
man.
gonna put something up in my head.
all
I
them
don't
times,
even know where to file it.
all them times we've been calling each other niggas, and we didn't get nothing but a bad a bad conclusion. And now here that Caucasian man not only did he call the name, but did what was so ignorant and just for eye candy and ear candy, you know. But I could have told him, man, listen, we have you know, if you grew up in the city, you had freedom of speech. But brother, whatever you say, you're gonna have to pay for it for certain people. You don't talk about people's mamas. You don't talk about people's skin color. You don't talk about anything, hair. You have to be prepared to defend yourself in all forms and shapes. All right. So when he said what he was saying, well, you know, and the thing about it is that the things that he was talking about offended Caucasians, you know, and that's why I was saying, what would they do without us? Hmm. You talking about go back to Africa?
Well, look,
Yeah.
it was interesting. I just looked at something last week. Can't remember the brother's name. I think I saved whatever video I was looking at. But this brother was saying that the Supreme Court's 1954 decision of desegregating the schools had nothing to do with desegregation any more than it had to do with curtailing Black excellence. And he gave several examples of things that Black people had invented.
Yes, I saw that.
Before 1954.
Yeah, I saw that, bro.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And
yeah, I know. I know exactly.
It just kind of put me in a different frame of mind, you know, to think that this really didn't have anything to do with
race,
with race or anything of that nature. I mean, you know, I'm not taking anything away from what Thurgood Marshall did or what he participated in, but it still causes me to think, you know, why would they side with the Negro in wanting to desegregate the schools if it wasn't to dilute our excellence? And if you look at the way that education has developed since, particularly for Black people, more specifically Black boys, man, it's hard to see that wasn't what the overall goal was, or at least what it's turned out to be.
So if I were to tell you that the educational achievement level on the whole for African Americans is greater today than it's ever been, most people in the African American community would argue with me, but I got the numbers to prove it. But on the other side of that coin, if I were to also tell you that the creative spirit of the African American is greater today than it has also ever been, but the acknowledgement and the remuneration for that dips every year. Because if you don't make the adaptation of taking, say, what your own child, the creative abilities of your own child, and nurturing that and developing that in your own independent environment so that you own it, people who are willing to adapt to the new situation will take it away from you and they will own it. So our children are just as creative, if not more so, than they have ever been in the history of the world.
That's why it's important.
We don't support them with investment in them and the nurturing process for them, so that the things that they discover and develop can provide future income and abilities for them to even go farther. Other people do that. Other people swoop in
That's
and
why
say,
yeah, they
go ahead,
swoop
Rabbani.
in. They swoop in because they have the resources, and that's why it's important to get the financial our financial institutions established, so that if someone has an idea and they make a presentation, that those who are qualified that run the financial institutions can give them an opportunity by a loan to develop their idea and market the idea. And that's the biggest problem, because most people, when our people develop something, just like my father invented a tool at the job where he went to, he didn't have the resources to fabricate it, make it, and market it, and patent it. So when we talk about a credit union, it is more than is really what I'm thinking is more than just a credit. I'm looking way down the line and seeing the branches go off into these different aspects that would reinforce what you're saying, Edward. Reinforce it and own it, and be able to control it. And this has been overall, even the universities. When we went, maybe Imam Talib might remember, when we took over the building at Howard University administration building. We all, what we wanted was we wanted Black history to be taught in the university. Can you believe that? And African studies and Black history. And oh my goodness, it caused a big commotion. I mean, three networks, the three major networks came to the administration building that we had taken over, because we want, and it was just a request to add these subjects into the curriculum, what we call the base curriculum, where everyone had to take these subjects when they come in. Oh man. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, they called it police, the guards, everything was 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 called to have this not to return back to normal. That was James Neighborth, who was also an associate of Thurgood Marshall in winning that case. So that was the kind of information. That was the kind of situation that was to try to stop this creative, and it's natural. That's the thing about it. It's natural with us as the African American group. We learn something. We can't just accept what it is. We have to put our sauce on it. Mumbo sauce. We got to put mumbo sauce on it. So that's getting back to what you were saying, Edward, and concerning the growth and development, and that's where we are now. That's why I knew the Nation of Islam was the only solution back then, if you were sincere to getting doing for self and joining under your own kind. That's what attracted the people. So that's all I had to say.
Adam, you were gonna join in that conversation?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that the whole capital thing of having capital versus not having capital, that stifles innovation in your community when you're not able to offer support to what is legitimately there, because we have very incredibly talented young people in our community in all aspects of life. I mean, we see it and we think that the only thing we're doing is athletics and music,
Dropping our pants.
dance, and stuff like that, but that's not the truth. We have incredible young people doing things in engineering and sciences. They're not celebrated because to get their ideas to the market, they have to give up so much of the equity, the sweat equity that they put in, that they end up with a trace. They end up with 2%, 3%.
That's what I mentioned that yesterday on the program, and I said the reason why they hate the Sanders boys and their father is because they have come up with a formula that benefited them from A to Z, you know, and what is it, prime equity in a contract with a athlete. Oh my goodness, that'll mess up the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that's what the family is suffering from right now. This back this kickback from the adverse reaction. But and people will say, well, why did he drop five levels in the draft? And the whole issue around that. And why do they hate Deion Sanders bringing these HBCU boys back, going to the number, prime levels, in terms of the football divisions, because that's what they have already. They have HBCUs playing in Georgia, uh, Tennessee, all the Florida State. I mean, Miami. Look at Miami. All of these, and they're winners, and they have a certain swag. They have a certain character. They have a certain culture that they can't put their finger on, and they can't control. You know, hey, how you got a head coach person who's a head coach got a Hall of Fame jacket, one of the most athletic persons that have ever played in any sport in America at any
Two
time.
sports.
Two sports. How can you address that and he has his money and get more money, and then he has the love of the young people in Colorado and those who are making money from him. They it is a phenomenon. The man said, "Oh, this is if he succeeds, it's over."
Yeah, we're gonna put you in your place, boy.
Yeah, CEO.
Yeah, man.
That's my They would say that's my place as a CEO of my company that I run. And then that's why they're afraid of Ibrahim Torre, because he is inviting our people to his country to help develop and grow it. And not only his country, but Mali and Niger.
Right. Didn't they come together or something to create
Yes,
their
yes.
own?
It's called the
Yeah,
Accord or conference. They joined their currency, even the currency,
right.
based on the gold standard.
Something they killed Gaddafi for.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
And not only Gaddafi, but you had several others in Namibia, and they down and they ran Idi Amin out because of that independency, or that he didn't want to be dependent upon those countries that have been robbing and stealing them for hundreds of years, more, and I mean, we all could see it now and say, well, why? Yeah, well, you gonna blame that the British? You go to British Museum. I go to British Museum in London. and I see everything from Nigeria and from. I said I
Right.
thought I was in Nigeria, man.
Right. My wife and I had a discussion about that the other day. You go to these European countries and you see artifacts from all over the world. But I dare say, if I went to Argentina or Brazil, would I see artifacts from any Scandinavian country?
That's right. That's right.
You know, what's wrong with these white people?
Well,
Hey man, what it is lack of self-esteem.
Yeah.
And that's why they
Okay.
had to come up with the iconoclastic era to put pictures of the European, that God was white, that Jesus Christ was white, that Mary was white, and then have the Jesuits and the military spread it as they were conquering the lands. That's all. And once you enslave those minds, oh, you got them forever as long as you want them.
Right.
I like to pause for a silent prayer because they're trying to whitewash one of my favorite historical Caucasians out the news. You know, they're talking about killing this national park and museum in Western Virginia, right? They're talking about taking John Brown's memorial down. My favorite historical Caucasian.
That's right, and his sons.
Yep.
Yeah, man. And then listen, the other thing is that they putting Robert E. Lee's statue back at the West Point Military Academy.
Yeah.
And he was treasonous, and he left the Union to overthrow the Union.
Yep.
So let me ask this question from a historical perspective. Has there ever been any other country in the world that experienced a civil war where the loser ends up being the winner?
That's an enigma.
Where the losers have statues and schools and highways and buildings and parks and army bases and I mean gunships and I mean you name it.
But see, that's the problem. We looked at it as a civil war rather than a family dispute. That's what it was.
Okay.
Family dispute.
So they
Because
characterize it as a civil war, but that's not really what it was.
No, you know the Clampetts and the McCoys.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yes.
Okay. Well, that's what that was.
The
Now
Hatfields
and the McCoys.
Yeah.
Now you don't even, that's just a footnote. You go to Kentucky, or you go to Tennessee, or you go to Virginia, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they all family. And
they
you
don't even
fall
remember.
out.
They don't even remember what the war was all about. Why they don't like each other.
That's
well,
right.
You know, I was talking Thursday.
No, I was going to say, I think they know, but I think that one of the things that we do extremely well in Western civilization is that we sweep distasteful things under the rug and forget about them. And we create myths, favorable myths to assuage our minds so that we don't go insane.
Right.
But they ain't
And
doing
I think it not only happens here, but if you study the history of a country like France, and I would say from, I don't know what, 1780 probably to 1796, they had multiple civil wars. they had more governments. I think that one time France may have had 11 different governments over a period of 5 years.
And also
And they're just,
Spain. Mhm.
Spain went through some cataclysmic stuff too.
Exactly.
I think that, you probably have to go back, you know, hundreds of years, probably 2,000 years
Hmm.
for the root of it. And the root of it may have been the introduction of Christianity
That's right.
into Western Europe that started it, where everything that their civilizations are built on
Yeah.
is myth.
Hmm. Well, that's what I've mentioned that. I mentioned that uh, kingdoms, dynasties, and empires, their longevity is based upon the same equation. One, they have to have a uh, man god. That's number one. Number two, they have to have a priesthood or the priesthood to continue to promote the man god and that and the concept the worship theory. And the fourth is a military to straighten out people like us who keep talking sense to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the three.
That
Check
be us.
every one of them. Check every one of them. God save the king. God save the queen. Pharaoh, I'm God. Okay. And they make the structures monumental so that they can always remind the people who God is.
Yeah, there's some truth in that.
Yeah, because the white man got a God complex. That was the last poets for those
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that don't
Yeah.
that don't know or don't remember.
Yes, that's exactly right.
White man got a God complex, and I'm of a mind that's why they keep going into outer space, because they're seeking the face of God.
they don't want to admit the fact that those Negroes built those pyramids and we can't figure it out. So it has to be someone from out of the solar system.
Well,
That did.
Rabbani, listen, I think you have been right about one thing, and that is that we are the soul of this country.
Mhm.
They could not do anything without us,
Mhm.
and they hate it.
That's right.
They hate it. I mean, no matter how much they try to crush us to earth, we
But we
still
ride.
rise. We
We,
keep rising.
we keep riding. That's
You
right. And you can see that the way they treat young African American uh, drivers. Oh, they become so aggravated and hateful in instance, and they come up with some stupid stuff to try to either put them in jail or kill them right on the spot.
Yeah.
That's something, and it's a group, and they have groups. These are the groups, the poor, ignorant ones that they put in those positions, and the ones who are aristocrats and have the big Wall Streeters. They they turn their head on it. They don't want to. They know it's wrong, but they just turn their head on it.
Right.
They call them the liberal left.
Mhm.
As long as I'm making money, we shall. I donate to you and Tifa, places like that,
Yeah.
organizations like that. But I ain't in it. I just take the rewards.
Mhm. Yep. Folk, we are pushing on 12,
It is noon.
11
It is
o'clock
noon.
Central
It is
Time.
noon in Eastern Time Zone.
Yes.
So marching orders. So we're going to try to set something up for the middle of October with Dr.
Okay,
Ali and his
I'll call him.
colleagues,
Inshallah, I'll call him this week, inshallah.
and we will
Maybe tomorrow.
keep the communications open with Ben and see you collaborate. Wish Rashid was here. I think Rashid had a relationship with the African American Credit Union Association. I almost want to say he had created a membership
Yeah, he did. I remember
with
him saying,
them,
yeah.
and obviously it'd be nice if he could join us and maybe reach out to them for any additional assistance that we would need on gathering information and different things like that. Want to throw
Okay,
one other
what,
thing into the mix, and then
mhm.
I'll be quiet.
Okay, go ahead.
We were given a list year and a half ago, maybe almost 2 years ago, of struggling credit unions.
Yep.
And if I remember correctly, one of those credit unions was a newspaper or press related credit union that was either in Charlotte or Raleigh. I can't remember if it was in Charlotte or Raleigh. And then there was another one that was there's two, one's in Raleigh, one's in Charlotte. One of them had something to do with newspapers, employees, blah, blah, blah. The other one, I want to say, may have been teachers or municipal employees or some kind of labor union or whatever. So obviously, much time has gone by. Don't know situation with those credit unions. But anybody that still has those lists, if you want to just look at anything that's on that list in your area, and do a shallow dive. I'm not asking anybody to do any major research, but you just do a shallow dive, see what you can find out, see if there might be other credit union situations that we can make an inquiry on, or just even ask for clarification on, while we have people's attention. Might be worth our while since we're in this mindset to gather that information.
Okay, I'll try to contact Rashid and see if he can join the meeting call, conference call. See if he can, if he can call in before we have that call, and then be a part of the assessment and analysis.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm done. I have nothing else to say.
I'm finished too.
So if there is nothing else, Imam Adam, will you close us out?
Yes. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. Oh Allah, give us the best benefits in this life and the best benefits in life to come, and save us, oh Allah, from the torment of the hellfire. Ameen.
Ameen.
Ameen. And Omar, your suggestion on compiling all of our data and maybe having it in kind of one place in some kind of order, I'm going to get you as much of, all the different steps and different things that we've taken with NCUA. I'll get that stuff to you as soon as I can and let you work your magic.
That works. Because I find that I get confused with trying to find documents, particularly when they're in all types of emails, and they get lost, they get buried. So having a document where everything can be compiled in that one document, and it will be in table format.
Okay.
that will allow everyone to quickly to be able to access it. If you lose it, that document can be easily sent back to you, and you have all of the revisions, versions of each document, etc., all in one
Okay.
place.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
And we all need that.
Definitely. Definitely. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Well, alaikum assalam, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Adam, don't work too hard. He's gone. He's working hard. Same thing, Sister Kalita. Have a great day. And we will talk with everybody soon.